So they've got their science journals. Yes?
Homework.
The homework is, I use the workbook pages that go along with our text. And I actually keep the workbooks in class. And each Monday, they rip out the pages they need to take home. And then they come back with those pages. Again, there's never this, but my backpack was stolen. Well, the worst thing that happens is you've lost the one chapter. And I have them posted as a PDF on my website, so they can always print them out. So I really try to do things so that there's really no excuse. Oh, so you didn't think to email me that? Oh, so you didn't download it off the website? Oh, well, okay, then it's late. I know different teachers have different philosophies. I do accept late work. I tell my students that if it was important enough for me to assign, it's important enough for you to do. You may get a fraction of the points, but I expect you to do everything that I assign in this class. If it is a week late, you get 1 point for it. You're still going to do the assignment. Now, my exception is after the quarter's over, I really don't want anything from, the grade's over. But I do expect the kids to do it, and I find that parents don't argue with that. I've never had a parent argue with why I gave them only a fraction of the points. When another colleague is engaged at times with a really long discussion of why won't you accept this assignment late. So I find that I've literally given a 50-point assignment 2 points because of how late it was or how poor they did on it or whatever, and I'll have no complaint from a parent versus the one that says, I don't want it anymore. Same thing with no-name assignments. You lose tons of points for not sticking your name on it. But I find that I get far fewer complaints for that than I do for others. And again, that's just my philosophy.
How do they study for a test if they're not focusing on class?
Good question. I also do study guides. When I was going through my master's program, I loved those classes where the professors would say, this is what we're covering. This is what the exam will be on. This is what I expect you to know. And I thought, why don't we actually teach that way? This is what I like as a student. I like to know what the expectation is. Tell me what I need to know. Tell me why it's important. And so I actually create the exam, and then I remove all the multiple choice options. So all it has is a sentence prompt, and then I give that to the students as a study guide. So they have every question that will appear on the exam. Sometimes it's things like, cells are, and that's all the lead is. And they're going, well, then you better know a lot about cells. But I let the kids write on their study guides, and they get to use that on the exam. And again, I'll have discussions with other teachers that will go, well, I don't give them a study guide, I'm not that easy. I survey the kids. Every student, on average, spends between 3 and 5 hours preparing for one of my exams. When I ask in their other classes, maybe 20 minutes, maybe even an hour, they don't know what they're doing. I also find, I talk to the kids about how important it is that they not cheat. And that I expect them, I prepare so that they know what to expect. And the kids take a lot of pride in their study guides. And they work really hard on them. I gave my first exam out of 180 students. I had 2 students who forgot it at home. But they did it, and they feel confident still coming into the exam. And this is actually the first time that it was like every class, and I go around and I stamp them. I do things like I do make them put their name in pen so that you don't have somebody trying to take credit for somebody else's work. I check them. I stamp them so I know that it was used in an exam already so that nobody can have handed it off to a friend. I honestly was one of those kids that I was a cheater when I was young because I often didn't feel like I could be successful otherwise. Cheating is usually because the kids either don't understand what the expectation is, the risk is so high, they're fearful that something's going to go wrong, that they're going to get in trouble. And I find that if I can break down those barriers, the kids are really honest. That's not to say I don't ever have somebody cheat, but it's much easier to catch them because we build these systems to know. And I personally love doing the study guides. So they have those, they can use their science journals, take them home if they need to for prep with that, but having that study guide makes it a lot easier for them. Okay, so again, involving them. I've recently started Socratic seminars, which sort of scared me. I thought, do I really want to give the kids this article or whatever? And it has been amazing. So there are all kinds of information about Socratic seminars online. I've posted on my website the file. So let me switch gears here. So let me show you on here. So I have on here the cells link takes you to all the different files that I use during my cell teaching. The genetics one, again, all of my unit stuff on genetics, evolution, other files here. So here's actually the PowerPoint presentation that I gave to introduce myself. I do a handbook on the first day of school that gives all kinds of information. My back to school night presentation, I have a slideshow on the butterfly for the kids. Grade reports, every time I print out their grades every 5 weeks, they have to write a letter to their parents. This is the grade that I got. This is what I did to earn this grade. This is what my plan is for the next time. And then thank you for your support. And they have to get that signed every 5 weeks. And it takes a lot of ownership for the kids. But there was one other thing that I was going to just show you on. Oh, Socratic seminars. There you go. So I've got a PowerPoint on Socratic seminars that kind of gives the rules for how we expect to do it. And it's a big difference with the kids. My sister teaches U.S. history, and they do a lot of debates, which are great. In my class, I don't want the debate, I want the discussion. And so that's a real different frame of mind for the kids, that it's about hearing each other and understanding each other, not about convincing someone else to come to your side, but sharing ideas. And so we'll read an article, we'll sit together, it's kind of tough. Sometimes I'll have the inner circle of the people who know they want to talk, kind of the outer circle for those that want to listen, and then they kind of swap in and out, which works well. But I've had kids, I had them read an article when we got to the human body on sex education. Yes?
Is this class a semester long or?
Year long, 7th grade, year long. When we get to the human body, we talk about uncomfortable subjects as a kid. I do not separate the boys from the girls. We all are here to learn. If you're ever going to have to encounter someone of the opposite sex, you kind of need to know what's going on with their bodies. Girls get a bad rap for being moody. You got to understand the hormones, all this stuff. So we talk about it. The kids all sit together. I had them read this great article about different types of sex education and what they are in different parts of the United States. And one of them was that whole discussion I had the kids talk about, should boys and girls be separated? And I swear I had this little boy in the front who raised it, because you don't raise your hand in the Socratic seminar, it's just a dialogue. So he was saying, I think that separating the boys and girls is actually disrespectful to us as individuals, because to tell a boy that he has no business to understand what's going on with women, how are we supposed to interact? Our job as humans is to interact with others, and that we need to know so that we can, as a community, be better people. It was like, you don't have to do anything else all year. You can hang. I thought, oh, that's awesome, because they were talking about, that, and I said, this is tough. You boys have a female teacher. Would you be more comfortable with a man? Because our other option is not a teacher they prefer to be in the classroom sometimes. And so or Mr. Yim, our vice principal, they're like, I don't know. I don't want to listen from him. So they're usually okay with that. Okay, so trying to get them involved, we do a lot of discussion.